Welcome to the first YouTube edition of Blogs on the Pod, and I've got some breaking last minute news to tell you about. As we were going live this morning, we decided to release the date of the next DataWeekender conference. The call for speakers is going to be open towards the end of the summer, around September time. But if you want to sign up early, you can do so using the Meetup Group, and there's a link to that in the blog post associated with this video. The date for the conference is going to be Saturday the 6th of November. It's going to be online, and there'll be lots of announcements and other details coming forward in the next few weeks, so stay tuned for those. And in other news, while we're on the DataWeekender subject, my DataWeekender 3.1 t-shirt arrived this week. I've seen lots of the speakers and volunteers who were involved in DataWeekender 3.1 posting stuff on social media, posting photos of their t-shirts. Well, I've got on mine today, but I'm glad everyone has received their swag packages for everyone who has signed up. And seeing as I'm wearing mine, I'd just like to thank everyone who made DataWeekender 3.1 such a huge success, and I'm sure that version 4.2 following later in the year will be just as successful. And if you do want to sign up, there's a Meetup Group link in the blog post. So it's been a super busy week on the pod this week. We've had some great content shared, and we'll dive straight into it. Nicola Illich, aka Data Mozart, has started a great blog series on the Power. He started a great blog series on Power BI. And what Nicola says in his post is he often gets the impression people think of Power BI as a visualization tool exclusively. And in his blog series, he's going to prove that that's not necessarily the case, and you can create a fully fledged analytic solution in Power BI. So it's a really great series. I'm looking forward to seeing the rest of it. There's a link in the blog post. Kevin Chant posted about using Azure test plans for data platform deployment, and in his post he shows you and teaches you, about Azure test plans, and he explains that the Azure test plans are a service in Azure DevOps, and it can be particularly useful for database deployments, amongst other things, managing your manual tests for your database deployments. So check out Kev's link, it's a really good read. Jean Joseph has posted about Bob Ward's session at Future Data Driven, right? And basically, if you're looking for the most efficient way to make SQL everywhere, then you need it from the Internet of Things edge right into your data center to public clouds. Then do tune into Bob's session and learn all about getting your solution right, given the situation that you're going to be deploying SQL in. So head on over to Jean's LinkedIn post. There's some links there where you can sign up for that event. Paul Stanton has posted, he had a LinkedIn post posting about 3 trends for the future of test data management and DevOps, where he actually mentions things like enterprise discovering the power of version test-ready DevOps data repos and cloud-native test data support for containers and Kubernetes and other conventional instances as well. So he's got a really interesting post there. Paul is really big in the area of containers and DevOps, and his post is really good there around test data management. So Amit Bansal, he's fundraising for the family of his friend Ahmed Osama, who sadly passed away recently. Now, if you'd like to support Amit in his fundraising efforts, please head over to Amit's post on LinkedIn, where you can find all the links necessary if you'd like to make a donation and help Amit raise some funds for Ahmed's family. Adriana Silva has posted about the Power BI July update. There's a lot of changes in Power BI. This much, probably too much for me to mention and go into detail here, but some of the changes include the fact that there's a built-in visual now for Power Automate in the built-in visuals in Power BI. There's been some changes to conditional formatting, and there's a new model view, just to name a few. And Adriano also posted this week, he's got 3 jobs that he is recruiting for. He wants a Power BI architect, a SQL developer, and a Power Platform architect. So follow the link, head over to Adriano's LinkedIn page, and if you're interested in those jobs, you can contact him and get some more details there. Then we have a blog debutant this week. Andy Cutler made his pod debut with a great post on Azure Synapse Analytics and SQL pools, where he's talking about the support for views and external tables, and he explains the difference and when you should use either a view or an external table. Check out the post, it's really good, it's really in-depth, there's some really good examples in there. There's a link in the blog post for this taking you to the post itself. It's well worth a read if you're doing work with Synapse Analytics and serverless SQL pools. And then lastly, Jasper Kent, my friend Jasper, he has got a great YouTube series all about .NET, and in this week's video he's talking about dependency injection, and he's got tips and tricks there. It's well worth a watch. He's also got some really great videos around .NET on his YouTube channel, so head over to his YouTube channel. There's a link in the blog post. Check out his other videos as well. He's got some really cool stuff on there. And that's it for this week. It's been another busy week on the pod. If you'd like to get involved and become a member of our pod community, feel free to do so. It's all free. All right, if you head over to the blog post associated with this video, there is a link to there's a link to a blog post that says join our community. Have a read of that. If you want to get involved, get in touch with me on LinkedIn or contact me through my website, and we'll happily get you involved in the group. Right, see you next week. Bye.